We've got our producer, Mike Salois, over here in the studios with us. Mike, thanks for being here with us every Sunday as well.
Oh, I appreciate it, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. You know, I can't complain. A lot of good stuff happening. Things are shifting a bit in the housing market as we anticipated.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And we got huge news this past Thursday.
What's that, Mike?
New construction. Mm-hmm. They're called housing starts.
Yep.
Up 26% this year. It's the highest level since October of 2007.
That's huge.
It's very huge. Now, not only does that mean homes, but that's jobs, construction jobs.
Yes.
Which, let's face it, we need in this economy.
We do.
And that's good news for people in the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
Mortgages, the banks. So it's a win-win. It was huge news, and it's just more signs that we're looking at probably an interest rate increase in December coming.
Everybody's asking the question, what's happening with real estate? Is it going to be bad? No. We've got a real estate Mongol coming into office, okay? Whether you support him or not, guys, okay, what's going to happen is, let's back up for a second. Mike.
Yes.
Okay. You and I know our listeners know this too, the rates have been false. They've been false for so long. They've been subsidized.
It's been basically they've kept them stagnant to keep the economy going.
And it worked. It worked for a while.
Right. But at some point you needed to start that not artificial growth of the economy which was being caused by the interest rates staying flat.
Yes.
You needed to let it kind of take on the life of its own. That meant we had to go into a little bit of an inflation period. Then we got to do it.
You've got to do it. You have to. You have to give people a reason to start saving money again. 2 days after Donald Trump got elected, okay, interest rates jumped up 0.25%. They're over 4%. The low was around 3.35 or somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think you're close. Yeah,
that was the low. Okay, but again, the rates have been artificially what's the word I'm looking for?
Held back.
Yes. But again, I think that the way they went about doing it did help the housing market. But what didn't help the housing market, and a lot of people don't know this that are outside of the industry, is all of the regulations that happened with the Dodd Frank Act, okay, in 2010. Now, I understand why they passed it, and it had its purpose. But banks and mortgage lenders, and they've been so suffocated for so long with so many regulations, and there's 7 different organizations that oversee the same thing.
Remember, it's also only some banks and mortgage lenders were suffocated.
Yes.
The big banks.
Yeah, that caused all the issues.
We're not.
We're not.
Yes.
And that's absolutely nuts. We've got some local guys, Matt Bates with Movement Mortgage.
John Castori, our friend with Semper Home Loans. These are local guys, okay, that work for mortgage origination companies, for brokerages, and they have been suffocated with so many regulations. Their pay has been cut. Okay, all of this stuff has happened, and it's a lot harder to actually get a buyer a mortgage than it was before. And believe me, I don't think everybody's qualified for a mortgage. Right.
But as rates increase, because it will happen, and I've been calling this for a while now, as rates increase, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to need more buyers to enter this housing market.
They're gonna bring back some aspects of subprime lending, which has already kind of started.
Yes.
But that's the one you got to keep an eye on.
Yes.
Because that's where all the fraud and abuse happened.
Yes.
And I can understand some of the regulations to protect us from things like that happening.
Absolutely.
But I think they got to kind of like pull the reins back a little bit and let things happen, and they will, because Donald Trump has been on record that's basically saying he's going to be the most friendly president when it comes to regulation since Ronald Reagan. Yeah,
I mean, and that's great. Whether you like him or not, guys, you gotta think about all the positives that can happen. And Mary Breimer, our financial planner, last week, she said, and I heard this somewhere else too, but she said, He's flying the plane. Why would you wish him to fail?
Exactly. You gotta give him a chance. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, we're not going anywhere.
No.
We're gonna. It's gonna be the old saying: if you always did what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got.
I like that.
So,
We got to do something. We got to move forward. Let's give them a chance.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, guess what? We have an election in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Use your voice.
Exactly. I mean, and you know what? With anything, you need a balance type of system. You can't go too far up without going, too far. You got to meet somewhere in the middle on certain things. So I'm hoping that both parties learn to kind of work together and meet in the middle and focus more on, on us, on the citizens, on our markets, on our housing, on making sure that we have the ability to save, to earn, and to prosper as a nation. That's what it's all about.
I agree. And as you know, my regular role here at Newsradio 920 is I'm the morning show executive producer for the morning news show at Ron St. Pierre.
Yes.
I'm calling my shot here because I've been covering this election now for 2 years.
Yep.
People are worried about Donald Trump going way far to the right as far as his policies go.
Yep.
I'm calling my shot. He's going to govern more towards the center.
I agree.
I think that's going to happen, and I think people are going to be surprised. And you know what? I think that's what we need because we've been yo-yoing back and forth, far left, far right for the past 12 years.
It's too much.
It's time to kind of get back to the center.
Exactly. We got to get back to the basics, guys. Let's work together. United we stand. That's what it's all about. Stop with all this craziness. Let's work together. Let's shake hands. I don't care what race, what color, what religion. Who cares? Okay? Let's get back to the basics on what this country is all about. Let's do it.